Caitlin Clark fans aren't happy with Angel Reese. They are freezing her out. Outkick wrote an article and dropped it today. Angel Reese ignores Caitlin Clark multiple times in Team USA win, and the video proves it. The great Joe Kinsey wrote that article.
Most people think Caitlin Clark's greatest weapon is her shooting range, but if you ask Larry Bird, you are looking at the wrong thing. In a private moment that has only recently come to light, the legend from French Lick told Caitlin something that did not just change her game. It changed the way she carries the entire WNBA. And it was not what most people would expect. Larry Bird is not someone who hands out easy praise. He has always been one of basketball's ultimate gatekeepers of greatness. So when he finally sat down with the Indiana Fever's new franchise cornerstone, many people expected a ceremonial passing of the torch. Instead, what emerged was more like a reality check. This is the story of the Bird-Clark connection, the secret advice that redefined Caitlin's rookie season, and why Larry reportedly...
I thought the game was a little clunky. I felt like we probably didn't play our best. I thought Paige played really well, but it felt good. I obviously probably didn't shoot it as well as I would have liked. I think their zone kind of threw us off. I thought it kind of slowed down our pace a little bit. We didn't get as much in transition, so I think if like another team plays zone, just continue to play with a lot of pace and don't let them set the zone.
Believes she is the only player in the last 40 years who truly understands basketball's darkest and most subtle art. To understand why Bird's words carried so much weight, you first have to understand the geography of greatness. Both Bird and Clark are products of the basketball heartland. Bird came from French Lick, Indiana, while Clark was raised in West Des Moines, Iowa. But the connection goes beyond small-town roots. When Bird entered the NBA in 1979, the league was struggling. Ratings were down, casual fans were disengaged, and the sport needed a jolt. Bird did not just play basketball, he helped sell it. Fast forward to 2024 and 2025, and the WNBA was sitting in a strikingly similar position. The Caitlin Clark effect is not just a marketing phrase, it is something that showed up in actual numbers. When she missed time in early 2025 with a minor injury, ratings did not simply decline, they reportedly dropped dramatically. Larry Bird saw that. He understood the burden that comes with being cast as the savior of a league. He was one of the last players to carry a franchise on his back from day one, while also becoming the immediate target of veterans around the league. And when they met, Bird did not focus on her jumper. He focused on the target on her back. That was the
See meets envy. You get what you saw last night. Caitlin Clark being shunned out of the game, iced out of the game, ignored, teammates refusing to pass her the ball. We got Angel Reese taking it coast to coast, Caitlin Clark right next to her, refusing to give her the ball, going, pushing, giving it to Diarca Hamby, and the ball it's a turnover. What we saw yesterday was the definition of jealousy.
Part of the advice he gave her. According to insiders and later interviews, Bird's message centered on the silence of the truly great players. In her first few months, Caitlin was reactive. She reacted to the hard fouls from Kennedy Carter, the endless social media noise, and the constant physical welcome to the league treatment that every rising star faces. Bird did not think she needed to react. He believed she needed to rise above the system itself. His message was simple. Do not beat them with your words.
Damn, says Caitlin, get the out my way. uses her right forearm to shield Caitlin from the ball like Caitlin's a defender, only to push the ball up herself. Caitlin says, oh, you got that? Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. I thought I was the point guard here, but you got that? Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, I didn't know. I thought we were on the same team, but you got that. You're right. You're the point forward. At least that's what your fans tell you. Oh, realizes we're not going anywhere.
Them with their own expectations. He told her that the moment she shows visible frustration, she gives the bullies exactly what they want. He reminded her of the Celtics-Lakers wars of the 1980s. Magic was the smile, but Larry was the assassin. He told Caitlin that she had the assassin's gene too, but that she was wasting it by arguing with referees and responding to the noise. And the reason that advice matters is because what followed looked like a statistical explosion in the second half of the season. To understand why, you have to look beyond the box score and get into the film. Before this pivotal meeting with Bird, Clark was playing under the crushing pressure of being the Caitlin Clark brand. She was forcing deep logo threes at times that were not always ideal, often seeming to answer the expectations of a crowd that had spent hundreds of dollars just to watch her shoot from absurd distance. She was playing highlight reel basketball, which created incredible clips for social media, but also led to a volatile assist-to-turnover ratio that hung over her early rookie months. Then the intervention reportedly came. Bird supposedly stripped the game back to its rawest form and told her, in essence, that she was the only person on the floor who knew where everybody was at all times, including the defenders. In his view, she was playing into their hands by giving them the shots they were expecting. He wanted her to stop playing their game and force them to play hers. After that conversation, the film reportedly shows a major shift in the geometry of her game. The Bird-like quality people talk about is not really the scoring. It is the gravity. Bird mastered the art of manipulating defenders without even touching the ball, and Clark began to reflect that same skill. She started moving the ball a beat earlier than before, throwing the hit-ahead pass sooner, finding the corner shooter the moment the double team committed, and punishing help defenders before they could recover. In doing so, she neutralized the blitz. Defenses that once swarmed her near half-court suddenly became afraid to leave their own assignments. That strategic patience did not just improve her numbers, it opened up the entire Indiana Fever roster. The biggest beneficiary was Aaliyah Boston, with Clark drawing multiple sets of eyes and then immediately punishing that attention with elite entry passes. The paint opened in ways it never had before. Indiana evolved from a predictable one-woman spectacle into a true multidimensional playoff force. In Clark, Bird reportedly saw a reflection of one of his own greatest struggles, having a basketball IQ so high that it could actually frustrate teammates. Back in the 1980s, Bird would throw passes to spots his teammates had not even reached yet. What he is said to have taught Caitlin was the art of making the impossible feel attainable, simplifying the game for the people around her by delivering the ball exactly where they needed it while keeping all the complexity in her own mind. In that sense, she stopped merely playing against the opposing team and started playing with the fabric of the game itself. Bird's tactical guidance was fascinating, but even more revealing was the way he viewed her value. In a striking 2025 interview that reportedly sent shockwaves through front offices, Bird argued publicly that Caitlin Clark should not be viewed merely as a player. In his eyes, she deserved the equity, importance, and treatment of an entire franchise. He did not hold back when addressing the petty or resentful treatment Clark received from veterans during her first 2 seasons. Instead, he drew a direct line back to his own entrance into the NBA in 1979, when the league itself was struggling for relevance. He essentially said that when he came in, veterans hated him too. They did not like the attention, and they definitely did not like a rookie taking over the spotlight. But the smart ones eventually understood that he was not there to take away from them. He was there to increase the value of the whole league. In Bird's view, Caitlin is that same kind of rising tide. If players are fighting her, then they are fighting their own earning power. That was the brutal truth he is said to have impressed upon her in private. You are not just playing for the Indiana Fever, you are operating as the CEO of the league's future. It was a complete psychological rebrand. Bird's mentorship reportedly helped Caitlin stop seeking approval from the old guard and instead embrace the villain role the media had tried to assign to her. He told her that in professional sports, respect is not handed to you in a polite greeting, it is taken through performance. So instead of apologizing for the sold-out arenas, the record television numbers, and the league-wide attention that followed her everywhere, she began using that fame as a psychological tool, understanding that her gravity off the court was just as powerful as her gravity on it. The results of that mental pivot supposedly became clear in the 2025 postseason. This was no longer the frantic, reactive version of Caitlin that people saw earlier in 2024. This was an assassin in a Fever jersey. The poise looked different. The killer instinct looked sharper. She started to use a kind of bird-like silent trash talk, the kind that requires no words at all. It was in the way she would pull up from 30 feet, turn away before the ball even dropped cleanly through the net, and give the opposing bench nothing but a cold, steady stare. She stopped arguing with the officials and started dictating the terms of the game itself. By the time Indiana reached the deeper rounds of the postseason, it became clear that Caitlin Clark was no longer simply playing basketball. She was running an enterprise, and that brings us to the legacy. Larry Bird has never been the kind of person who believes in finding the next Larry Bird, but he reportedly admitted that when he watches Caitlin Clark, he sees the kind of mastery over the game that he thought had largely disappeared with his generation. What he told her did not just reshape her rookie season, it helped preserve the momentum the WNBA had built around her. It transformed a college superstar into a professional legend in the making. The torch was not merely passed, it was used to light the whole league on fire. Larry Bird saw the fire in Caitlin Clark before the rest of the basketball world fully understood how to handle it. And by teaching her to embrace the target on her back, he did not just help her survive her rookie season, he helped her dominate it. The Hick from French Lick and the Queen of the Heartland have now put the entire basketball world on notice. The game has changed, and there is no going back. So the question now is whether Bird's advice really was the turning point behind the Fever's playoff run. Let us know what you think in the comments. And before you go, hit that like button if you believe Caitlin Clark is on her way to becoming an all-time great. Share this with your friends if you want to settle the debate once and for all. And subscribe for more breakdowns on the stars who are redefining the WNBA. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.